Welcome to Bias Bash. I'm Lauren Green. Senators Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are stepping up the attacks on one another as the presidential campaign draws closer to 2016. And these two senators, along with Rand Paul, are freshmen in the Senate. And critics say they are using their office as a stepping stone to the White House. So is the media making the connection? Here with his analysis is Justin Duckham, senior Washington correspondent for Talk Radio News Service. Welcome, Justin.
Hey, great to be here.
I never realized until it was pointed out to me that there are 3 freshman senators running for the presidency. That's a little strange, isn't it?
It's very troubling. You know, on one hand, this totally denigrates the Senate. We have right now 2 senators who are most likely going to end up being the top-tier candidates who are going to be going against each other, and that probably is going to have a big impact on how the Senate runs. We're going to be having them going against each other, and as a result, we're going to continue to see the Senate being used as essentially a stepping stone to the presidency, and already we've kind of seen the notion of the presidency affecting how these senators conduct themselves in the upper chamber. It's no coincidence that Rand Paul and Ted Cruz have both held filibusters and then afterwards tried to capitalize on that to raise campaign donations. And it's also not really a surprise that we've seen Marco Rubio absolutely skewing to the right in order to bolster his sort of hawkish credentials beforehand. And so I think it's very clear that they are using the Senate essentially to play politics.
You know, there have been a few stories I've seen written about Rubio about he's not been in the Senate to vote. I think his voting record is almost appalling. I mean, the percentage there. Mm-hmm. But do you think the media doesn't bring it up about Rand Paul and Rubio and Cruz because it would actually then have to shed some light on the Obama administration as well? You know, President Obama, also a freshman senator who ran for president.
No, and I knew you were going to mention that, and that absolutely does make sense. But at the end of the day, the argument against Obama running when he was in the Senate wasn't that he was, going out and doing bombastic things in the upper chamber in order to get attention, but instead that he really wasn't doing much as a senator. And I think that's completely different, being sort of a know-nothing figure, such as Marco Rubio at a certain point, or going against being somebody who is sort of a bombastic bomb thrower a la Ted Cruz, somebody who's willing to essentially bring the democratic system to a halt. But yeah, this is absolutely a bipartisan issue. It's one that should be explored more, and it also extends to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has been essentially using the Capitol as a prop for a lot of his political movements. He is a very good senator. He's been focused on sort of staying in D.C. and not hitting the campaign trail as much. But nevertheless, there are numerous instances that seem to raise some ethical concerns. One of them is that he holds a number of rallies outside of the Capitol that are technically billed as press conferences, are announced through the official Senate announcement system, but really seem to be more political in nature than anything press-oriented. So this is a problem that really stretches across both aisles.
Yeah. You know, one of the complaints I've heard people say is, why don't these politicians just want to do the job? They don't want to do the job anymore. But is it a generational issue, sort of, that media is obsessed with youth and, at the cost of experience?
I think it's a very good way of looking at it. I think what it seems like is that the presidency now seems to be an award for somebody who has a strong personality as opposed to somebody who has a strong career built over decades like we've seen in previous candidates. I think that's probably a hangover from the Obama success. I think that really has fueled the notion that a young upstart senator could really achieve the highest office in the land with relative ease. But at the end of the day, I think that really is going to have a pretty serious impact on our democratic process, and one that the media should not be taking lightly.
Wow, interesting stuff. Thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you.
If you want to hear more media analysis on this topic, catch Media Buzz with Howard Kurtz, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern and again at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Fox News Channel. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.